Yeah, nice. The neighbors just started revving the engine next door as soon as we turned on the mics and cameras, so that's good. I think that this being probably it's a 95% chance this is the last podcast in this studio. It's only fitting that the neighbors. I'm surprised the neighbors maybe don't just put their head through the wall.
Or their car.
Put their head through the wall, say, "Oh, hey, my bad, guys," and then them just drop their Bluetooth speaker through the hole and then just blare like rap music.
No, they drop their Bluetooth speaker in between each piece of drywall on either side, so we can't actually get it.
Yeah, it actually just falls all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
There's, for whatever reason, of course, there's no insulation, because that's why it's so loud in here every time they talk. That would be good. But I love this place.
How we started is how we're going to end it.
Yeah, I love this place, so it's great.
At least building the nice sound studio isolates the sound so it's not echoey. It just goes straight into our mics.
Well, no, we're not getting the new sound studio.
Oh.
We're not moving in until 2022.
Yeah, at this rate, it's...
We'll probably scrap this segment then.
Yeah, we'll put this in the archive, and when we move in a couple of years, once ever the building's done, then we can revisit it. But welcome back to You Betcha Radio Podcast. Episode what?
108.
Episode 108. This is the 105th episode in this studio because the first two were at my house.
Yeah.
Tyler, I'm talking to you.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that.
We had
you just went through all the episodes.
Right.
Though.
I'm thinking you had multiple that were on location though.
Bars. Ozarks.
This is about 102. Maybe
100.
This is the 100th episode.
Fish House.
Yeah, this might be the 100th episode here in this studio.
Wow.
This may be the last one in this studio.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think that Jared will have to maybe do like a photo, but when we're all done, like a 0.5, nice and wide. You can poke your head out. Could kind of be a last little photo in here when we're done. Everyone can get a little misty-eyed. Pretend like this was just such a great studio.
We got to keep the fitted bed sheet as part of the door.
Yeah, like we got to document this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then next week we're moving into our new building. We are. I've decided. I don't care what the law is. I'm moving in.
Me too. I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, and we got a brand new studio outfitted for what we need it to be. Tyler won't even be in the room.
Nope. There's going to be a piece of glass.
Yeah, he'll be on the other side of the wall, which will be nice because sometimes when he has, certain lunch, his breath starts, coming down.
You can smell it from here.
Yeah, it'll be nice to isolate you in the other room.
Is my producer booth ventilated?
I'm just gonna sure hope so.
Tyler's gonna be blowing on the piece of glass and like writing messages,
and then it will smell in there for a week because it'll just be on the glass.
Yep.
But yeah, welcome to the last episode in our first ever studio. I'm Miles, You Betcha guy. Obviously, we got Ryan, the T-shirt guy here. Before we get too far into this episode, we got to talk to you guys about fairwaymeatmarket.com. It's all about the meat. What we don't talk about enough is that, sponsors like Holiday and Fairway, specifically Fairway right now, is like these guys have helped us grow our brand. Mm-hmm. We're obviously trying to grow their brand, but through these sponsorships and stuff, it helps this podcast keep doing what we're doing. It helps us grow and been a huge part of allowing us to be able to move into this new building and do all that. So before we even do the read, just thank our sponsors for helping us do what we do and help us keep moving forward. So they help us. I would love it if our listeners could help them out by going to fairwaymeatmarket.com and grabbing yourself the Heartland bundle. It's a $180 bundle, but if you use code YouBetcha, all one word, you can get $80 off and get free shipping. So that's like basically $100 back in your pocket.
Spend 100, save 100.
Yep. Or double down.
Mm-hmm.
Or double down and get a couple of them. Guys, this Heartland bundle comes with 6 ribeye steaks. It comes with 8 Dwayne The Rock Boneless Chops Johnson.
I was waiting. I was gonna add it. I was waiting.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson Boneless American cut chops, and you get a side dish of your choosing. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah,
It's
it's
cooking T-bones, baby.
no.
I can't wait to cook our first steak
Pork chops.
on
Pork
the
chops.
new patio at the new
Oh,
building.
yeah.
So we'll have to get all that going. But again, basically get $100 off on this bundle. Use code YouBetcha. Go to fairwaymeatmarket.com. Get yourself some meat. All right, Ryan. This is kind of this first segment here. Just a walk down memory lane. We did this one other time.
Ooh.
I think it was probably episode 100, maybe.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, from what I remember, we had episode 1 and 2 ish were in my living room at the condo that I was at.
Yep.
Then episode 3 was actually just in the open area here. It was echoey as shit.
Yep.
And then we moved into what we have now, but it was 4 feet. No, 6 feet
It's smaller.
shorter. It was only 10 feet this way. So literally the camera was up against the wall
Do you
in this room.
Do you remember when we were streaming in here too, and we had to crawl under the table to get to the desk?
Literally, there was no
Yeah.
room to move in here, so we had to crawl underneath the table. We finally made the decision to what? Just make it bigger by
Yeah.
6 more feet or so.
Yep.
And even now, if you took a look at this, you got to go look at it on the Instagram. What we need to take a photo of the area of just what this looks like. There's a fan that's tipped over on the ground.
This is innovation at its finest.
There's
though.
an old coffee thing just sitting there. How long do you think that's been there? I have no idea.
months.
That
There's
one? No, I think that's from today.
There is a fitted bed sheet to get into the producer room.
Yeah, there's a fitted bed sheet. So like we have nice curtains that my mom gave us.
Yeah.
Right from the get go, and then
The PVC pipe.
that didn't even need to happen.
No.
You have to check it out on the Instagram. We never ever did paint the
No.
conduit behind us.
No.
So if you've ever wondered if you're watching this, if you ever wondered what the white line is there, it's just metal conduit that we said we were going to paint black and we just never did.
We bought painter's tape and spray paint and then just never painted
just
it.
Yeah.
never did it. It would have been such an easy fix too.
Uh-huh.
So that, the-
Great backdrop. Everything else,
I mean,
maybe use a little bit of work.
The backdrop is pretty simple. It's just acoustic tiles we bought off of Amazon and just stapled to the wall. And I'm pretty sure that there's some that are just like a staple came out and we just stuck it in there, and because it was being pushed together by other foam ones, it just stays up. The light that's coming from behind us is just like a work light.
Contractor's light.
It's like a contractor work light. Yeah, I mean that's what this thing is. It's just one big shit show, but it was our shit show, and we've made a lot of improvements. But
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. You just look at the floor and wonder to yourself, how did that camo hat get there that's been there for 6 months? There's a Christmas stocking underneath of the monitor in front of me.
That was hanging on the antlers at one point.
Yeah, there's just no really good spot for it except for the floor.
There's a random PlayStation controller behind you.
Yeah, we don't know why that's there. We don't know
what we'll have to say though is this is the second carpet square we've used. We've thrown one out.
Yeah, first one was gross. Speaking of the neighbors, one time, remember when they ran into the wall or then it like flooded over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it flooded the carpet.
So we had to get rid of the carpet when it dried.
And we have a ton of equipment in here.
Yeah, like probably like 10 grand worth of equipment in here.
Yep.
And we just, I don't know. It's
the back producer wall. I don't know if we just ran out of
We
acoustic
did.
tiles
We just
or-
ran out of
no,
tiles.
there's a bunch sitting on the
There's a
floor
bunch over there, dude. They've been there for 6
we
months.
just got lazy and just never finished putting up all the acoustic tiles in here.
Oh, I think we ran out of staples and then we got new ones like the spray paint and then didn't use them.
Yeah, the ceiling here is actually just 2x2 pieces of wood, like 3 2x2s, and then we just stapled king size bed sheets, which is actually smart.
It's a great idea. Yeah.
So like it actually kind of looks like a makeshift tent in here, which is actually not bad. We did hang this backup mic that I don't even know. Do we use that ever? Have we used it?
It makes syncing a lot easier.
Okay. Oof, okay. I'm glad that we actually use that. What else, Ryan? We've used so many different mic stands. This table, by the way.
This table is legendary.
You remember the first ever table?
You mean the big one that you did the DIY on?
So we're talking. This table was. I went to the hardware store, and I went to the graveyard of wood that's like got chips out of it and stuff, and I bought like one that's got a veneer finish on it. But it was like raw edges, so it wasn't even like a finished edge like this one is. It was a 4x8 sheet, and I just bought hairpin legs with wheels on it at Menards. I bought 4 of them. I screwed them into each corner, and then I tipped it around, and there was a huge dip in the thing because it was such a heavy piece of wood that we just stuck one in the middle, and that's what we used for like a long time.
Where did that end up?
Like if you got too close, you like would cut your skin because the edge was exposed
you
on
get
the
slivers
wood.
in your forearm.
That was propped up behind the trailer at one point when we had a trailer in here.
Did we get rid of that piece of wood?
Yeah.
It might be in the trailer still.
It might
actually.
be.
I think it actually is.
Because it's got those spots for the legs.
Yeah.
So you'll have to tune in next week to check out our really cool podcast desk.
It's just that desk with the edges on it,
We
right?
have come a long way. Jared, you're going to have to write all these down. You should do a cut together because on the internet, there's me DIYing this. I recorded it. So you're going to have to just put that up and then a photo of what the new desk is and just kind of where we came from to where we are today.
We're also very good at utilizing open table space to where if there's open table space, we're doing something wrong here. There's got to be something there, whether it's an empty Rockstar can or just an absolute heap of clothing.
Like we just have equipment laying out that I don't even think like normal studios would literally put that like in a cubby or have a shelf.
We don't have a cubby.
We don't have a cubby.
We had one, but Ryan took it. He did take the one that we had. That one I got from IKEA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the sink.
There's a handheld microphone just laying out. There is a camera with a lens that we haven't used in a year. There's a staple gun. What else is on the desk?
There's Jake's pitching wedge is on.
There's a pitching wedge on the other side of the TV.
Yep.
Gas station sunglasses.
Yeah.
Gotta have them.
Also, the new mics that we got, we just never threw away the boxes. So there's still boxes laying around from the mics that we got 6 months ago.
There's a LED light remote.
Yeah. So guys, it's a mess in here. We never threw away our scratch off tickets, even though they were losers. So those are just still sitting over there.
We still got our hot pass from the Bush Clash.
That one's cool, actually. I want to put that in my office. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of changes coming here with the new studio, the new just the whole layout, everything. When we built this new building, we tried to make it as professional as possible, but still with a little bit of character. So the desk kind of has the logo on the front, and but it's going to be cool. I think, Ryan, what is the best thing about this studio?
I think this studio like encompasses what You Betcha's all about.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because whenever there's not a way to do something, we just find a way to do something. Right. King size bed sheets. The fitted sheet to get into so it only covers half of what it should. But
it's like kind of nice because you can go in and out of it pretty easily, but it does catch some sound.
Yes.
That's what it's for.
No, absolutely. I mean, in the backdrop too, Miles got a nice buck back there. I got a decent little buck back there. The one thing that has stayed consistent through all this, Miles, is the neon sign.
Yeah, it's been there from the get-go. Well, actually, my rack has been there from the get-go because episode 1, it was on the wall.
Yep.
With the Billy the Bass thing, right?
I don't know, something like that. That was in the middle of the table because we used to like have a prop in the middle table, which we could go back to doing.
Yeah.
Because now we have a bigger table coming.
Yeah, every week it was different. One week we had like local cornhole bags.
Yep, and then just a 30 rack at times.
We had the U-Bitty.
Yeah, just that. We got to go back to that.
I know.
And then we got all fucking fancy, dude. We put Tyler up on a platform for what reason I don't know.
No one knows that.
But it does feel good. I'm a little concerned that in the new studio you won't be up on some sort of platform. But you'll be in another room, so I think that does it.
Yeah, so the only reason we need a platform is so I can be up over the monitor so I can actually see you guys. Because we used to play the whole head bobbing game every time we would talk to each other.
Did we ever release the Charlie Barron's talking about the studio?
No, got cut short.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to just dub in a clip of him talking about this studio because he's
Great
like,
audio visual.
Basically, what he said, I'm pretty sure, was like, you put lipstick on a pig, Miles. You know,
Not
like
far off.
Online, it looks like you guys are in a legit studio, and then you turn the camera around. It's like, oh God, yikes.
Yeah, there's been a couple instances too. We have a couple power strips on the floor. One in which the fridge is plugged into. The fridge has been unplugged multiple times trying to get the lights off.
Melted. We had
Shit's
ice cream
gone
in there
bad.
once, and that melted and smelled.
Yeah, grasshoppers.
Yeah, when we made grasshoppers. That of course, the one time we have ice cream.
Someone unplugs the fridge.
Well, to be fair, I'm sure the ice cream was in there for like a month before we unplugged it.
Wow, sometimes you need a sweet treat, Tyler.
Yeah, just one scoop at a time.
Yeah.
God. And then the sign over there was a sign that we used for when we took You Betcha Radio on the road.
Yep.
We went to like 5 bar takeovers and we had those signs up, which is kind of cool. Kind of
So what happens when we move? What happens to this studio? Does it just get dismembered?
We took out another lease on this area.
Nice.
So obviously all the equipment goes, but I think we keep up the structure.
I'm with you. I'm with you because we're gonna need like a place to get away.
Yeah.
You know, a place to brainstorm where you can go back to the old mindset if you need to get back to your roots. And I think we come here.
Or we're just someone's lipping off one day. Like we've been saying, you send him here to work for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Initiation.
This is like Guantanamo Bay.
Yep.
You send all the worst prisoners here.
Guantanamo bunker.
Yes, Guantanamo bunker. So what's the worst thing about this place though?
That's an easy one.
What?
The fact that we've really never been able to just roll a chair straight in here. There is camera stands,
Jared,
and mic stands.
You're gonna have like just a whole carousel. Will you get a photo of all the cords on the ground?
Yeah,
please?
I've knocked my mount off the wall.
Your mount broke, didn't it?
Kinda.
You should get a photo of those cords over there. That is,
But-
it literally looks like Clark Griswold. When he has all those lights and then it's all on that one power strip. That's kind of what it looks like in here.
I hope to never have to lift a chair over my head again.
Yeah.
We won't. I think the chairs are just staying in
We
the
said that before, though. When we redid the studio, we could roll it in for about a week. It felt really good.
Yeah, and then we hired people and they took our extra chairs.
Yeah.
Well, so what happened was we went to Costco and we literally bought every chair they had left.
Yep.
And it just happened to be too short.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, I mean, that is the worst. That is a terrible part. That there's cords everywhere. I think the worst part about it is even when we expanded, like, it's a little claustrophobic back here.
A little bit.
The wall's pretty close to you. The person that you're talking with is right here. I've always had this fridge back here. And just like, I know that like I can't just scooter. Like it's a little claustrophobic.
No, I would agree.
I would say another terrible thing about here is that basically that the biggest problem we did was we made the space actually, I think, a little bit too big when we moved it because there's like we've made just walkways and pathways and just never had a reason to clean this up completely. And I think that's like our biggest mistake.
Well, going back to the cords, when we first did this, I had the cords like color coordinated, wrapped together. Like everything was perfect. And that lasted all of 2 days.
No, it lasted a couple weeks.
We started unplugging shit and unwrapping things. And oh, man.
Now, I will have to say, you guys rip on me for being messy. But this is just as much your guys' space as it is mine.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
So I everyone knows I'm messy. What's happened to you guys? Why is
Well,
your
we
guys?
hang out with you too much.
Well, maybe you guys should take some responsibility.
Yeah, you
Is
guys
this what it's going to be like in the new building?
I fucking
Oh
hope
no, it'll be way less because it's spread out more.
Yeah.
Well, we say that, but when we have extra room, we just find something to put there.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be the same amount of stuff physically, but it'll be spread out so it'll look nicer.
That's true.
Yeah, I would agree when you said that this is a representation of who we are as a business.
Especially the way it's changed too, I think.
Yeah.
It's grown proportionally with us.
Yeah, it's grown proportionally. Nothing matches. Some of it is raw. Some of it is very professional.
Mhm.
Yep.
Some of it is good enough for who it's for.
Yep.
Some of it is downright atrocious. Some of it makes my blood boil. Like look at that little ding dong thingy just hanging off the wall there. It's just a little guy just hanging off, like a little strip of whatever hanging off the wall.
That's when we had the studio turned the other way.
Yeah.
And you could see the plywood behind the sound panels. So you had me take a scissors and cut sound panels up and shove them into the gaps where you could see the plywood.
Jared will get a photo of that at some point here.
So after saying all that, Miles, what are you gonna miss about this studio?
I am gonna miss so it's like when I used to work concrete, right? The work sucked, but all like the jokes and shit that happened in it
Yeah.
to get really soft on you guys is the best part. So all of the stupid bits we did when we started streaming NASCAR and
Oh God, I was just gonna
me
say
fucking getting pissed at you and just acting like just an absolute F head, and the argument of
that. Cougar.
the cougar, mountain lion
Yeah.
argument.
Great argument, by the way.
The even just the fact that we in this studio we were able to interview some like
Mhm.
pretty popular country music artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they thought like we had a legit setup is pretty funny.
Yeah, and some really high profile athletes too.
Oh, and the fact that we just were green to whoever for a while there, we just had a bad
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So-
People don't know that, but for the longest time when we'd Zoom record with these people, with these guests, they would see us in an entirely green tint.
they could only see the outline of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be. I think that we're gonna look back, Ryan, at the times we had to podcast when it was 90 degrees in here, and we're just gonna be like, that was the good old days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think that it just, I don't know. It's been a place where, for whatever reason, no matter what was going on, the business going on in life, we knew every single week we had to podcast in the studio.
Mhm.
So it's been something that's been the most consistent thing we've ever done in the last 2 years is this studio. For podcasting, at least. Streaming, not so much. But podcasting, it was like every week we're going to be in here. Every week we got to do something in here, and we've committed to that. And we have sponsors that we need to make sure we're putting out episodes and doing all that. And yeah, I just think it's one of those. If walls could talk, am I right? There's even been nights where we've played video games or watched a NFL game, whatever. And I remember one night me and Jade just got shit canned in here.
Yeah. Well, and
And
you
we
all
played PGA, and we actually talked through the microphones.
Even though you weren't streaming.
We weren't streaming, and me and him just the whole night got hammered and played video games and played like Blink 182 on our headphones and got absolutely obliterated. And his sister had to come pick us up.
You know what the funny thing too about this studio is that you always knew how the night before went.
Yeah.
Because none of the beer cans were ever cleaned up.
It was a little bit like an unwritten rule that you don't almost clean up your cans, so you can almost show the people the next day, like, oh, we had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
You see that there
Yeah,
was
you missed
18
out.
beers on the table?
Yep.
Two empty bottles of whiskey on the floor.
How many
Yes.
how many beers do you think have been drank in this studio?
Oh,
Um,
God.
I would quite a bit.
Yeah.
Streaming up that. I mean, we drank 1 or 2 beers, 3
Every
beers, maybe a
podcast
podcast.
for 90
Yeah,
podcasts.
when I started, it was at least a beer a segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean a good amount of beers. I wonder. I think our biggest mistake, Ryan, was that we went to this smaller table.
You think that was a mistake?
I think we should have kept the old table. What do you think?
It's just more places to set shit.
That would have helped you with there's too much room in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have.
This place would have been 5 feet even farther. Yeah, if only these walls could talk.
I mean, they kind of can. We recorded almost all of it.
Yeah,
think
that's
about the hours upon hours of conversation that have gone on in this room.
Brainstorming sessions.
Hundreds of hours.
Mhm.
This is Tyler's place where he goes when he gets a headache.
Yeah.
Yep. Turn the lights
and
off.
dark.
I've done Zoom calls in here. Just done a lot in here.
Are we about to get a Jordan Belfort moment?
What?
You're not leaving?
You know what, guys? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Crowd goes wild.
Yeah. You see me spit there?
Yeah.
God.
Speaking of spit, we have a whole bunch of spit takes of you guys spitting out beers at this table.
Really?
Yeah.
From when?
For what reason?
On accident, like a joke, or like it just went down the wrong tube.
Or
Oh, yeah.
Every time Ryan would crack a beer, it would just spray everywhere.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
know how you would do that.
It's
Yeah, I imagine now at this point in this segment, the listeners are kind of like, well, kind of got it, guys. The good old
We
days.
get it. We get it.
And we're just dragging this out and dragging this out, kind of because it's like a little bit like you know that it's just it's never gonna be the same in here again. So
Uh-huh.
we're kind of like don't
we're hanging
wanna-
on.
Yeah, oh, this might go on for another 10 minutes.
We're hanging on.
It's like walking off.
Are you ready to go? I'm not. I don't. We can stay a little longer
Yeah.
if you want.
It's like walking off the field after your last game of your senior year.
Close the yearbook, Tyler.
I'm
Jesus
talking about
Christ.
college.
Shit. Still.
Still close the yearbook, Tyler.
Jesus Christ, Tyler.
Okay.
I missed that.
Yeah, so
Fucking-
many bits created in here.
Yeah.
I would be ashamed of myself if I didn't mention that I had sex once in our last podcast here.
That is true.
That was
Good on you.
I knew you would work that in.
that was
somehow.
my only bit for about 30 episodes.
I know, because you were so boring.
Yeah, I mean, I was so worried about making sure that this thing ran right.
Yeah. Not hard, though, you found out.
Not at all.
Pretty easy.
I mean, if Jared can do it,
Oh.
Wow, Tyler.
oh,
Yeah, I think that we definitely, before anyone moves out of here, we definitely need to take 100 pictures.
yep.
Like we need to preserve what this looked like and before we start moving everything, just because it'll be good to look back someday and what was and what it turned out to be. Who knows? 6 months from now, the whole thing may tank and we'll be right back here.
Hey, let's just keep going with the podcast.
The new building will get foreclosed on and we'll be back in here and be like, hey, just kidding, we're back.
Hey, he was right. We're not leaving.
Not leaving.
Miles, what's your top 3 worst things about real estate investing? Segment
Well,
1.
the best thing I ever did was honestly, to get really sentimental and cheesy and whatever, is
Ooh.
the best thing I ever did was rent this space out. I could not afford it when we did it. I was trying to figure out and see if anyone wanted to go in on it with me. Now that's just silly and laughable. It was 2 years ago. And it started out, I had big plans, as Chris Lane would say, for this space.
Yep.
And then it just became what it was. Like it was like you had the plans, and then what I like, and this is probably belongs on Raging Workaholics podcast, but like when you're busy trying to build something, you're not so much worried about what it looks like, right? It's like, we got a pile of clothes over there. I don't have time to go through that because I'm busy trying to build this business and grow it and get more views and get more listeners and all that other stuff. And that's honestly what this place became, was big vision, and it was going to be cool and we were going to make it this and that. And then all of a sudden we just were working all the time. So then it just became what was the product of what we did. And it's kind of what we see today. And I think that as we move in this weekend, before we touch anything, we should highly document this space because it'll be fun to look back on someday.
I mean, in a way, it's never not been what we needed it to be.
Yes.
You know, like it may not be the most convenient or the most efficient way to do things, but it's always been exactly what we needed when we needed it.
Well, the thing for me too is like this place is all that I've ever known, right?
Right.
You coming in here for the last 2.5 years, 2 years, whatever it was, started printing merch up in like the 100 square foot loft, moved into like the 200 square foot.
The only reason why we did that is because it was cool.
It was cool.
It was cool.
Make any sense.
It was cool to print shirts up there.
Yeah.
Because it was in the middle of the summer when you pretty much started up there. And it was like, well, maybe the early spring into the summer, and it was just hot.
I was shirtless.
Where is the hottest part in a 20-foot high ceiling place? The last 10 feet or 7 feet.
Well, let's put a heat press there.
Yeah, let's heat it up more with that. Yeah, me and you used to pack every single shirt together.
Yeah.
We had such an inefficient system.
Yep. And
literally, this is what would happen. We would literally, someone would look at the sheet and one person be a runner and one person be a packer, and I would yell it out what Ryan was supposed to go grab. And like in our first month, we sold like 100 shirts, and we thought we were just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We're so far over our head.
I thought that was going to take me a week to print.
Yeah. And what is it now? Like you guys, even on our slower system, you can get that done in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, then classic shop vibes too. The first time we did You Betcha Palooza, we like went out and got sponsors for it, right? So every sponsor got a big ass banner, which is now hanging up top. They'll never go away.
Yeah, those are the only free ads.
Yeah. Yep.
Bev Buckle.
Your dad's?
My dad's concrete construction business.
Yep.
We should bring that one with us to the new place.
Yeah, we will.
M&H, call Mike.
Lux Communities,
Vision Bank.
Yep.
DS Beverages.
Yeah. Was U Motors a thing yet?
U Motors was on the side of the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and big time shout out to U Motors. They were the first ones on the train.
Yep.
They believed in us.
They did.
So yeah, that's I don't know how much longer can we ramble on about about this eyesore of a place.
I don't want to leave, guys.
So if you're sick of us talking about it, you can fast forward at this point.
The next segment's much more lighthearted. What
would be the last thing that you would want to say in here, Ryan?
I think one thing about Bunker 1.0 is it really shaped me as a person, Miles.
Is that serious or is that a joke?
A little bit of both.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Like I said, this is really all that I've known, and coming in here day after day. We call it the bunker because there's really no windows, and it's just, it could be 75 and sunny, and you don't even know what time of day it is out. But I also think that's kind of like fast track things for us in just putting your head down and getting to work. And then like the transitions from up in the loft to down on the main floor to our own
separate
merchandise space, and then to the brand new merchandise space. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. And obviously, without the customers, I wouldn't have a job. So thank you guys.
Yeah. That's thanks for asking me what I would say. I was going to.
I didn't know if you're going to piggyback on that, but
I would say that number one is, the only reason why we have a new place to move into and we've had this place for as long as we have is because we have had a platform and people that are listening. Because what's the like, if you're, I don't remember, if you're on a journey and you're talking and trying to lead people, but no one follows, you're just out on a walk.
Yeah.
We have, luckily when we try and put out content, people listen and identify with it, and it's relates to it. And I hope that this space here can identify with just the Midwest culture in general, and that it is gritty and that it doesn't always look pretty, but it's good enough for who it's for, and it gets the job done. And we'll never be able to, what's really sad is like, we'll never be able to capture the energy and the work and the sweat and the frustration, the ups and downs and lows and all that happened in this space. But the people who were here when it did know, and will carry that forever. And so, been a good ship, but yeah, I think it's the right time to move on for sure.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yep.
So thanks for everyone for listening. You got me all emotional. And we're going to take a break and move on to the next segment. Guys, before we get into the next segment, we need to talk to you about Holiday gas stations. Holiday has the best coffee around, hands down. There's just no way to argue with that. But they're not just a coffee shop, you know. It's a gas station, but we like almost consider it a coffee shop. It's not just a coffee shop.
It's also a supermarket.
It's also a supermarket. It's also a car wash. It's also a place to fill up that tank of yours, which we actually just did a video about filling up the tank. So you got to go check that out. Very, very, I think, if we're recording this before the video goes out, even if the video doesn't do well, I still stand by the fact that video is very relatable. Just the fact that you can never remember what pump you're on. I feel like they should have a thing by the Holiday pump gas station. Guys, if you're Holiday and you're listening to this and pitching ideas here, you're going to want to just put like they have a take a number.
Yeah, at the DMV.
But it's just the number of your pump. So right before you go in, you just take it, and if it's 4, you just pull 4 off, and then when you get out there, you don't even have to say it. You just set it on the thing.
It prints it out, it says 4 and your price, so the cashier doesn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, not a bad idea. But guys, all Holiday gas stations are always clean. They're always nice and bright, make you feel good when you're in there. Great arrangement of snacks and drinks. Plus they have good roller dogs, and that's really what matters. You guys know I'm a big roller dog guy. So
Tyler, do they have good egg rolls?
You goddamn right they do.
Really?
Yes.
Even better, man.
So head to you can find a Holiday at a lot of corners in the Midwest. So
just look on the corner.
Literally just look somewhere on the street and you're gonna find a Holiday. Head to a Holiday, get yourself a cup of Joe and everything else that you need. Guys, Ryan.
Back in a big, big way.
You're flying in an airplane, right?
Yep.
All of a sudden, you saw that one engine go down on that one flight. Your engine goes out. You crash into the ocean. You're a lone survivor on a desert island. I mean, that's kind of morbid, but you are a lone survivor on a desert island. But in the plane, you had 3 items that survived and you brought with you to shore from a bar.
Now, we're not talking about any bar. We're talking small town bar.
Well, it can be any
different
bar.
aesthetic. Okay, I went with small town bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits either way.
Yeah.
We're all thinking small town bar, even if we're not saying it.
Right.
What are we taking? What are we taking? You want me to start? I got my list.
So is there any parameters that we need to put out there?
So I do have a question. Is there any power on this island? No power, correct?
There can be power.
Okay,
There is,
good.
yeah.
Good.
There's
good.
a plug-in. There's a plug-in somewhere.
There's just a tree with a plug-in.
Tree with a plug-in.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a very advanced desert island. It's a very, very advanced one.
You got power, but
it has
nothing else.
solar panels on it.
Well, I think there's a generator on the plane that comes with everybody.
Okay.
The generator was the first thing that you guys threw out of the airplane as you were dying because you knew you need to save it, and it magically landed right on shore.
Yes,
Yeah.
and no
And-
damage.
No.
And there was a bunch of tanks of gas there to keep it running for years and years and years.
Okay.
Perfect.
So it worked out great for you. So now you just have to get these 3 other items to shore. So, I just want to go first just to get this out of the way. I feel like if I didn't do this, I would be run out of town, and
You'd actually be put on an island.
yes, I gotta just sacrifice one of them for the old nectar of the gods.
130 rack or a pallet.
Actually, give me a keg.
The whole keg.
I love me a tap bush latte. just something about it. It's just the beers just go down so much easier out of the tap in my mind.
I would agree.
Does the tap come with the keg, or are you going full wilderness mode trying to bust this keg open with something you find on the island?
No, it's an advanced island. It's an advanced desert island, so it's got actually a kegerator on it.
So we have power and we have a kegerator.
No, don't get me
Yes.
wrong. I have to find a coconut, cut it open, scrape all the coconut out of it, and use it as a
There's
glass.
no
as a
cups,
cup.
but there's power.
Yes. So I am drinking Busch Light out of a tap, out of the kegerator,
Yeah. In a coca bush
in a
bottle.
in a coconut, just from a coconut.
Yeah.
So there's that. Plus, everyone knows that Busch Light has healing powers. So if I happen to run into like a wild pig on the island, and it maybe gets a tusk in the side of my leg, you just pour a little Busch Light on that and it heals you right up.
Also, if you're hunting, you can use the Busch Light to get the animals drunk.
Oh,
way easier
yeah.
to kill a drunk animal.
You literally just put out a coconut of beer in the forest,
It's a little pig bowl.
and animals are just gonna start flocking.
Mhm.
You're actually gonna have to so much animal and people like food drawn to it that you're gonna have to just like put it out for 5 seconds, get an animal, and take it right out. Because if it's there for too long, you're gonna have no surviving animals. And you're gonna have a big feast, and then you're screwed.
Nothing to save it. There's kegerator doesn't have any room to keep the meat cold. It's just the beer.
Yeah, your food's going to go bad. It's going to spoil eventually.
Which will feed into my number 2 when we get to it. But so yeah, healing powers, makes you happy, gives you something to do. And I mean, there's no other reason. It's just you have to have that.
That's
with
like a
you.
triple threat almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can it do?
You don't even need any other items.
Plus, you could probably use it to start the fire. It's flammable as well. I've decided.
Wow.
Distill it a couple times.
Yes, it is flammable. It will start a fire. You can also, in the sand, write an SOS message.
Yep.
But at this point, if you got unlimited Busch Light kegs, like you would in this scenario, with a kegerator and coconut cups, are you going to even want to get off this desert island?
I'm feeling like this is almost like Bachelor in Paradise.
I don't think this is
hang out with you.
Yeah, I don't think this is desert island. I think this is just a dream scenario.
Nothing like some peace and quiet.
Yeah, and then you can use the empty kegs, which, after week 1, you'll have about 15 empty kegs. You can use that to build a shelter.
Or a raft if you ever decide you want to get off the island.
Well, that was my
That
number
is
3.
true. That is a
shit.
good point. Well,
You bring in a raft?
No, I'm bringing an empty keg, so I can either send
Oh,
a
rookie
message-
move. Then you don't even get to drink the beer.
right, but I can either send message in a keg. I don't need a message in a bottle. I can send a goddamn novel if I wanted to, right? Because there's all that. Room
You
in
also
there.
could just use it. You don't have to get off the island, but you can use a raft for fishing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the dual threat
That's
of my
actually
empty keg.
This is getting even better. That's a 6th threat or whatever at this point.
Quintuplet threat.
Yeah, I don't. And then you can also, what you could do is you can make a makeshift treadmill out of the kegs. You take a stick, you have it on either end of the keg, and then you take palm leaves and you fashion a tread on the kegs, and then you just run on it.
I just
And
thought you were going to
get
put it in the
stay
water and run it like a barrel, like a log in the water.
And then you can do some log running or whatever it is as well.
Yeah. Well,
And
yep.
you can use it as do like the Atlas stones and the big strongman thing. You can use kegs and like throw them over your head over bars for entertainment and to
Well, they
keep your
act-
physical physique up.
They actually throw kegs.
Yeah,
in strongman.
there we go.
So,
Really?
and I feel like the better in shape you are, the longer you're going to live.
That's true.
You're
You're going to have a plethora of protein
Plus-
with all these animals
Yeah,
you're killing.
Plus, if some smoking hot jungle woman shows up, you better be in shape because otherwise this is your only shot at getting a wife on this island. So
yeah, she's gone. She's on to the next island.
yeah,
I'm going to this
she
island
shows
to get
up
away.
and she shows up and I look like me. I'm screwed. She's on to the next island.
Yeah, but you got Busch Light there.
That is true.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
It's-
So what
what can it do?
can't these Busch Light kegs do?
yeah, I'm taking the empty keg though. I feel like, again, message in a keg, or I can use it as a raft to float somewhere else.
I like it. And then the fishing thing is big. You got to have some structure to fish off of, or you could make that your buoy for your nets.
Yes. Or you know how you catch minnows? You have a minnow trap, right? You open up the end of the keg, you sink it down to the bottom, maybe put a little food in there, a little bit of pork from those boars.
Yeah.
And you get some small fish coming in.
And now you got
Easy
bait.
way. Now you got bait. Or food.
Mm-hmm.
And because the keg is shiny, you can use it if there's an airplane overhead. You can use it with the reflect the sun to get their attention.
Yeah.
What can't these?
What can you do?
I think having some kegs on a desert island's the way to go.
It sounds kind of nice. This isn't so desperate anymore.
At this point, we get 3 options. You might as well just bring 3 kegs.
Well, and what's nice too is like you literally can use it as like a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you can use it as a table.
A cooking pot.
Yes.
You can cook stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use your electricity and a grinder to cut it open.
We got a grinder
And then you
too.
can actually have like a seafood crawfish, whatever. What do they call that?
Shrimp boil.
Yeah, you can have a shrimp boil with your keg over the fire.
And if you really needed to, you could cut off one of the handles and sharpen that baby up for like a little knife.
Now you got a knife.
Now you got a knife. You got a knife. You
Already
got a fish
fit to your
trap,
hand.
You got a table, chair.
You got a grinder.
You got a generator.
Yeah.
Who knows? This keg might be able to generate power based off this solar power.
Yeah. And with the shininess, you can use it to get your under and get a good tan underneath. You know, like they have the reflectors. Just hold a keg on your like this.
It's making all my picks seem kind of silly now.
Yeah, I know. Sorry to come in hot, first one, but
that was your number 3.
That was number 3.
2 and 1 are gonna get way better. I feel like
Maybe not.
My first one is a pool table.
I knew someone was gonna go pool table, so I chose something differently.
Yes,
because you are gonna need some entertainment.
You will, and it's also. I've been watching a lot of Survivor. Number 1 rule of your shelter is get up off the ground. Your pool table, you're up off the ground.
You don't want to ruin that felt though.
You put some palm leaves down. There's a little blanket.
Yep.
And grass bed. Maybe?
Do I get the pool sticks and balls with this?
Yeah.
It's all in one package.
Yeah. I mean, if we get a grinder and electricity with a kegerator, I think it's okay.
So now you sharpen the back end of your pool stick because you don't want to mess up the actual tip so you can play.
That's
now
a
you
good
got
point.
spears.
Yeah.
You got these balls. You can throw them at animals. You're killing animals with the pool balls now.
Plus, have you ever seen on Drake and Josh, they have the show Drake and Josh where they have the toy called clackers?
No.
No.
So basically, they're just balls on one ball and 2 balls on one string, and then you just go like this, and they just bang back and forth together, and that's like a fidget spinner clackers game thingy.
Yeah.
Ahead of its time.
You could do that with that.
Or you know those things in like corporate offices where it's got like 4 or 5 balls, and you pull one end up and pop.
That's entertainment.
Mindless.
Yeah.
You also could use it as like a makeshift bocce ball.
Ooh,
many
that's
games.
A good one.
Yeah, you could play golf with the pool stick as
You
well.
could do a shot put as well.
Mm-hmm.
You also could play baseball.
Yes. You're gonna need to get a branch. I think the pool stick will break.
Sorry, just a game of pepper or just bunting. Only bunting.
In the sand, so it just drops 2 feet in front of you every time.
It's literally just. Can you imagine whipping a pool ball as hard as you can at someone?
Getting hit with that thing in the knee.
Oh,
Yeah, that would not feel good.
Again, fashion a slingshot out of some leather that you got from killing a boar.
Mm-hmm. You're taking down
You got a
every
slingshot.
animal.
I'm also
Goliath shows up at this island. Sorry.
Gonzo.
Sorry about that.
Instantly David.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, Tyler, you ever hunted raccoons? They like really shiny stuff. They like tin foil and stuff that they can play around with.
Yeah, and they'll grab it and never let go.
Yeah. You set a trap up, try and catch some wild pigs.
Mm-hmm.
There's your bait right
and
there.
the pool table.
Like it.
You lay down some poly on it. And you can use it as a slaughter, like
It's your butcher table.
Butcher table. Nice slate little butcher table for you.
Also, in my world, you could use the pool table as a deadlift platform with
Oh my god.
the pool stick as your bar.
And you had a keg on each side of that pool stick.
Yes. Yep.
And
Because we got to stay in shape.
you can use the triangle, for the thing. You can use that as a boomerang.
Yeah.
So you have a frisbee boomerang situation on your hands.
Entertainment.
You also could use it to when you're your jungle wife is there, you just bang the stick on that, and she knows to come for dinner.
Also, if Jungle Woman does show up, you not only have beer, you have entertainment.
Oh yeah, and then
So
you
now
can
it's a
use it
party.
as a way to get a little frisky. You teach her how to shoot a pool stick too.
Yep.
You can flirt with her that way. You could do that.
Yeah. $5 a game. Just keep racking up that balance.
Tons of change inside this pool table. You can bet.
That is
Yes.
true. Yes.
What happens if you lose the cue ball? If the cue ball isn't coming back out where it's supposed to?
Well, you
It's
bust
stuck
it
in there. You
open.
bust it open.
Yeah, you bust
Yep.
that thing open.
I'm sure you can use that plastic covering as something too.
Yeah,
Easy.
Yep.
make another knife.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's your next one?
I'm beginning to think that you don't actually need that much stuff.
Miles is
because-
done. He's done. All he needs is
No, my next one you guys are gonna love. You're gonna want to bring the deep fryer because raw shrimp and raw fish is gonna get pretty old after a while, and you're gonna want some real flavor out there. So you're gonna want to bring the deep fryer, and once you go fishing on your keg raft, then you bring that back and you get some breaded shrimp. You get some breaded.
What are you using for breading? Coconut?
Yes, coconut, and you'll bring some flour with it. That
yeah.
comes with
It
the
comes
deep
with
fryer.
it's a package.
Same with the oil. The oil and lard and whatever comes with the deep fryer. So yeah,
We get
you're-
lard from the pigs too.
Also, another perfect trap for like small animals. A squirrel smells that deep fryer. They're going to go investigate. They fall in. Squirrel's cooked.
Again, also too, if like Jungle Woman's going by and she gets a whiff of some fried food, she hasn't smelled fried food ever. And she's going to be just seduced by the deep fryer. So, or also you get an enemy to show up. You shove his head in the deep fryer. He's
Game
done.
over.
You win.
More food.
And more food. Okay.
Yikes. Tyler.
Yikes, Tyler. Jesus, that's too far.
Fucking cool it, my
Dear
guy.
God.
Sorry.
So yeah, deep fryer. What else could you do with it? Beer battered fish.
Yeah.
You have the
keg.
you have the bush light keg.
Yes.
You have the pool table. Well, now we're just combining. We're all three of us are now hanging out on this island.
Our islands have merged at
we
this
dropped
point.
at different times though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've now moved our islands to now join forces, and we use the pool table now as our dinner table,
Yep.
and where we prep all of the beer battered fish and all that. It's a great. We're having feasts every night.
Yeah.
You've got all these kegs laying around for other counters. You put the deep fryer on top of a keg.
Oh, and I didn't even think about it. Musical instruments. You can take a stick and beat on an empty keg.
Tarzan. Best
Yeah.
scene from Tarzan. They play music in the camp.
Yeah,
Entertainment.
there we go. Let's start a band.
We could start an island band.
We could start an island band. We can fashion some strings onto the pool stick.
Basically, we'd become Jimmy Buffett, Kenny Chesney, and Ernest, all
Yes.
island singers.
It's also a great way to get the attention of a ship passing by is by banging on the side of a keg
Great
with a
music
pool
and
stick.
good smells.
Yes, fried food. I like that. This is coming together well, fellas.
I am liking the way this is going. You guys didn't think about the deep fryer, did you?
No, I didn't even step foot in the kitchen when I was visualizing this.
What does deep fried coconut taste like? You think that tastes good?
Well, yeah, coconut.
Doesn't matter. We're gonna try it.
Coconut shrimp. It's deep fried. It's delicious.
Yeah,
But just coconut by itself, deep fried,
it's got to be good.
got to be good.
Yeah.
Bush Light coconut.
A beer battered coconut shrimp.
Yeah.
Well, maybe even yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great move. Deep fryer. Didn't even think of that, did you guys?
No.
I'm always thinking a step ahead.
My number 2 though, I'm taking the full popcorn machine.
I knew someone was gonna do that
So
too.
kind of along the lines of the deep fryer, because that also comes with oil, comes with the popcorn.
Not as versatile as the deep fryer though. That's
Not as
a
versatile.
tough, it's kind of a one-trick pony.
No, but at the
It's
same time,
it's a staple.
It's a staple. I have food to catch fish with. Again, Tyler, we talked about the deep fryer trap.
You guys are gonna use popcorn kernels to catch fish?
No, actual popcorn.
And then
Might get a little soggy,
we
but-
save some of the
No, I
seeds,
know, but
and then we start
that's what
our
I'm
own
saying.
popcorn farm. We start farming popcorn, so we never run out of popcorn.
Yes.
Well, we just would have corn then, guys.
It also
It's different kind of corn.
yeah.
It is.
It also serves as a trap
Yes.
to catch more food. You
Well-
got the oil, you got the butter. You got all the seasonings that come on top of it too.
Cheesy.
Yeah.
Oh God, that would be a good flavor to have. Some cheesy popcorn.
Some cheesy coconut.
I'm sitting on the beach and drinking Busch Light, having some coconut shrimp with some cheesy popcorn, and my fingers are just bright orange.
Yeah. Listening to some island tunes.
My fingers are just always stained orange from the cheesy popcorn.
Well, because the generator also has a built-in speaker.
Yes,
So-
it does.
Bluetooth for our phones that we also brought.
Well, no, there's an uploaded playlist into the
Yeah.
generator.
That constantly updates from the satellite.
Yeah,
Yes. Yep.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So we're actually always on top of the top tunes as well, because it's just a Spotify playlist that just keeps updating all the hot country and top 100.
No, it's just Jimmy Buffett, Kenny Chesney, and Ernest.
It's just Margaritaville playing. You know, it's always 5 o'clock in Margaritaville. Oh, that could be cool too. We could off in a tree, we could just carve into a tree that it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like
it's
it.
just like, oh, what time is it? Well, it's 5 o'clock. Guess we better start drinking. That'd be a great move.
My next one is a neon sign. You take a neon sign, you're starting fire pretty damn easy using all that heat. If you ever want to get off this island, which at this point I don't really want to get off the island, but
either.
it's a great SOS. 2, it's very dark at night.
Also, true.
Now you have some light,
Yeah, that's true. We don't have any light up to this point other than fire.
and it's some ambiance.
Yeah,
It just fits
nothing
with-
makes you want to drink more beer out of a coconut than a neon sign. Plus, other islands are going to be super jealous because
They don't have shit.
What looks more fun than a neon sign in the darkness?
All they got is torches.
Yeah,
That's lame.
Tiki torches. Tiki torches are so like 2008. Get with the program. It's neon signs on islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Also keeps the bugs off us. They're attracted to the light, not you.
That is true.
Bug zapper.
Yeah.
Not as versatile as the stuff that
No.
I'm bringing to the table, guys. But
Well, all three of us are on the same island, though. Remember?
Yeah, we
So
start. It's like
we're
the
relying
show.
on you.
okay, so
We're
I'm
bringing-
bringing the main items, then
Yeah.
you guys get accessories.
Yep.
It's like Lost. We showed up on the same island, but in different parts until we slowly merged together.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ready for this next one? You have to stick with me here.
Give it to
Okay.
us.
So my biggest one that I think could be big. Well, I mean, we're talking big. Is we bring the pig wheel with the table and you know chips and
Yep.
all that. Now here's at face value, it's like, oh, it's just a gambling thing, right? No. We start using this thing to make all of our biggest decisions, right? And it becomes a game. And we almost eventually over time just view this as whatever the pig wheel says goes.
Pig Wheels becomes God.
Becomes our god here. So, but you write different stuff on the thing instead of the numbers. It's like, do we kill Ryan? Do we sacrifice Ryan? Do we send Ryan out on a raft to try and get help? And then it spins, and it's like, oh, we kill Ryan. Okay, well, I guess we'll try him out in the deep fryer.
This is giving me like Lord of the Flies vibes.
Yes. But we're avoiding Lord of the Flies leadership struggles by just passing leadership to the
the pig
wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think there actually would be a leadership struggle because,
Jungle Woman would get it.
well, no, it would just be me.
Okay.
I mean, I think you guys would concede pretty fast. Neither of you are like trying to be making all the like top decisions, because you guys want to talk shit about me behind my back because I'd be the leader and it'd be fun for you guys to do while you're,
It'd be a bonding for me and Ryan.
Yeah.
And then we might group up on you.
A mutiny.
But here's the thing. I'm not. What am I gonna do that's gonna like not be good for the squad? I don't imagine.
Hog all the Busch Light.
No. You know me. As soon as I have a couple 2-3 beers, I'm buying people beers.
That is true.
I'm like, let's
Then
do shots.
Maybe we get upset about you wasting our supplies then.
Yeah.
on you guys.
Yeah. It's like, quit giving it away to the jungle
I
animals.
think that it's right. Well, what we could do too is we could have a rotating leadership thing, but just have the pig wheel decide.
Yeah.
So we put our faces on the thing because we now have crafts.
we have a
And we have
printer.
a printer and a computer.
A color printer.
We also have Jake has taught us how to use Photoshop to make it so it's just our faces and we can print them out and put them on the wheel. And then it's like, all right, this month, spin it. Who's the leader this month? We got to go like that. See,
Yeah.
I think the pig wheel, not only would it be fun to gamble, it would also be a great source of take it out of everyone's hands. There's no egos here. It's just every decision. Let's put it on the pig wheel.
I like that. Who gets the last beer out of the keg? And then it hits all pigs. So then all of us get to drink.
Yeah. There we go.
Easy decision.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know, pretty good lineup there. Kegerator with unlimited Busch Light kegs with a generator.
Where are the unlimited Busch
They
Light
get
kegs
dropped
going?
in. Every passing plane.
Yeah, we have a plane that just drops off a crate. So we might need a
Are we on a
forklift to get the beer to where we want it to.
So are we on a deserted island, or are we actually just like on a beach in
vacation?
Mexico?
No, this
Where are we at
is
here?
a deserted island with solar panels and a generator and stuff. It has
Computer
a magical
access and Wi-Fi.
It has a magical tree with outlet, and it also has a magical pig wheel that we worship and let make all of our decisions.
Yeah, that's a solid lineup. Not gonna lie.
Do you have any more? You have one other thing?
Pure entertainment value. My number one, I'm taking Big Buck Hunter.
I like
fun.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pure entertainment value because we have a generator. We got the plug.
Plus, it will practice. It'll help us with our hunting skills as well.
Not only is it a shooting
Yep.
range, it's just pure
Mental
entertainment
reps
value.
is what it is, really.
Yeah, and that could also be a way to settle disputes that the pig wheel can't.
Yeah.
Whoever wins in buck hunter gets to
Yes.
decide.
We'll take
Well,
you on.
smaller matters. You
Yes.
know, pig wheels for the big decisions.
Yeah.
We can settle.
We don't
any-
want to insult it with minor stuff.
Yeah, we can literally settle any dispute on the old buck hunter.
Yeah, you trying to hunt elk? You trying to hunt moose today? What are we going
Yeah.
with?
All depends on what the dispute is.
Yeah. This one might be a stretch. I don't know what you guys think, but my final one is I want to bring the bartender. We got to have someone there so we can just chill
I
out.
don't know. They might be cramping our vibes.
They're also going to dig into our supplies too.
Yeah,
Tyler. There's
that's
one more
true.
person.
No.
Hey,
This bartender is at our mercy.
let's let the pig wheel decide.
Yeah.
Will you pull it up online? Will you pull up a wheel and put yes or no on a bunch of different ones, and let's let the pig wheel decide.
All right,
See, this is already a great
Yeah.
system.
Hey, wait, Jared, go get the pig wheel from upstairs.
Me and you disagreed, and then and Tyler, or we disagreed with Tyler.
Yep.
So now all we have to do is use the pig wheel to get everyone on the same page.
Do you got a mouse down there to give me that thing, or did Jade take it?
It's not down
Jade
here.
must have taken it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jared is getting the physical wheel.
Okay, and
It's
we're gonna
all
put it
yes.
right here.
This
It's
island's
all what?
All yeses and nos, so it'll work.
perfect. This island is turning in more into civilization than anything, and we are the leaders.
Yeah, the question is if one of us settles down with the island, our jungle woman, do we procreate, or is it good the way that it is and we just all die?
From experience, we don't want to bring children into this.
Okay, Jared, you want to put this up on the table here?
So it's not looking good for the bartender because it's all nos and 2 yeses.
All right, that's just what the pig wheel wants, though. All right, here we go.
Are we bringing the bartender?
Dear Magic Pig Wheel, do we get a bartender or not? This thing is a really good wheel, so it spins for quite a while. Do we get a bartender? Oh my!
No bartender. It's coming back. What is going on?
Oh my!
What did it land on? I can't see it.
Is it gonna keep going?
No, it's on no.
Oh, it almost
no
bartender.
bartender.
Don't need one.
Hey, we'll take turns. We'll take turns being the bartender, which will be actually kind of fun because then it's like different specials, Like, I'm making like Ryan's making Bloody Marys,
Yep.
and then
With
maybe
coconuts.
and then maybe I'm making Bush Mosas the next day, and we just keep it fresh.
Yeah, everyone has a different like lunch special. We got coconut shrimp one day. We've got roast pork the next day. We've got whatever island bird it is the next day.
Well, we're having sea bass on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I get the biggest shelter though.
I get the pool table.
I picked the pool table. I'm getting the pool table.
Well,
All right,
we'll let the wheel decide that, Tyler.
we're gonna end it with one more pig wheel decision. What should the decision be?
Are we going to continue this segment? Go.
I wish it wasn't just yes or no. who is going to be the leader to start? Yes is Tyler and no is Miles.
Ryan gets it if it lands on a peg.
If the wheel falls off of it. Here we go. What is it? Yeah, I'm the leader. Okay.
Great audio.
All right, let's take a
Hey,
break
Ryan.
and wrap up this podcast.
We're just hiding behind the wheel.
Yeah, you know.
Guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 108 of the You Betcha Radio podcast. The final sign off here in Bunker 1.0, the original studio. Again, give us a rating, subscribe, give us a review, send it to a friend if you think that they'd like to hear what we have to say. Next episode is going to be a new chapter in the You Betcha Radio, as well as You Betcha as a company as a whole. And so we'll see you at the new Bunker 2.0 next week. I am Miles, the You Betcha guy. And you are who, Ryan?
Ryan, the t-shirt guy.
Ryan, the t-shirt guy. May your ranch always be runny. Your bush lattes forever be cold. Cheers, Ryan.
Oh, that's hot.
My God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.